Galavina, Guia Dolosana, Angito Talitakini and Navarro, Nambula FM and Golden Point Resort, Basendo Nambandana Here, Vinaka.
Bula Vinaka, Navan Gotevita, Utungwe 90, and the Talita Valley and Bula FM, Nambandu, and I said.
Nadango Makilesi, Rakiraki, and SB Nambula FM, Nambandu.
Hello, Ratu Kitchen in Gatabo, and do Talita Navarro, Bula FM, and Moldo and Sere,
Bula FM, number 2 and Ser.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, Tropical Cyclone Winston claims 5 lives. Extensive damage reported in the north and west. A nationwide curfew to be lifted tomorrow morning. Five people have died as a result of Tropical Cyclone Winston. The confirmation has come from Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama, who after an emergency briefing today says while this is a time of sorrow for the nation, it's also a time for action and unity. Ellen Stolz has more.
Having received all the information that the authorities had on hand, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says Tropical Cyclone Winston has left behind only destruction. Bainimarama has urged all Fijians to remain vigilant.
In the meantime, I urge every Fijian to stay mindful of your surroundings and stay indoors. There is no telling whether the cyclone is gone for good, so we need to act accordingly. That is why it is important that you adhere to instructions from government and avoid dangerous situations.
There is confirmation tonight that 5 people have lost their lives as the direct result of TC Winston. Details surrounding the deaths are still emerging. Another concern for the government are the islands in the direct path of TC Winston, including Tavuni and parts of the Lao group. The Prime Minister confirms that all emergency agencies are active. The cleanup process has begun and every community will be covered in the days to come. The outer islands, however, will take some time to reach.
We are working hard to make your streets and communities secure once again, but that will take time. So I ask you for your patience during this time of crisis, especially for those of you in rural and maritime regions. Fijians who have lost their homes and property have been sheltered in evacuation sites, while government explores how to best care for you over the long term.
Bainimarama adds teams from government agencies, private sector and other organizations have been working around the clock to restore essential services and get the country back on its feet again.
Particular emphasis will be placed on reconnecting our Eastern Division to our national grid so we can urgently assess and address the damage in our maritime regions. We are also working hard to keep the Fijian people as updated as possible on the restoration process. In some cases, the electric power has been intentionally cut off in order to prevent more severe damage.
Bainimarama reiterated that the national curfew will be in place until 5:30 a.m. tomorrow to protect lives and property. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
FBC News journalist Akusita Thale has been in Rakiraki today and has spoken to some of the families who have lost loved ones. She filed this report.
3 deaths have been confirmed so far in Wainubuka area in the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Winston. The first victim, a woman from Manu village, has lost her life while her 2 daughters are still admitted in hospital with serious injuries. We haven't received confirmations yet at which hospital, but sources say they've been transported to Nosori from Korvo in an ambulance this afternoon. We spoke to the woman's husband, where he revealed that the strong winds last night carried them in the house and threw them close to a river where his wife died instantly. The second deceased is a 59-year-old Vilive Seru of Navua village, who also lost his life after being blown away 100 meters from his home. The third incident, a 24-year-old boy who was blown away with his house in Nasaimbito village. The 3 have all been buried today, and we've just received reports of another loss of life in a Sinu village in Tailevu. It's believed the woman died after sustaining major injuries in the aftermath of TC Winston. It's also been confirmed that the woman has been buried this afternoon. Wainembuka has been badly damaged with fallen trees blocking most parts of the King's Highway, and many villages in Wainembuka are homeless, with 2/3 of the houses and belongings destroyed by Tropical Cyclone Winston. We visited a village in Ilanga where 23 houses have been badly damaged, with only the floors of the houses remaining. Only 3 houses survived the strong winds last night. We also spoke to some of the villages where they're waiting on government assistance, as vegetation, housing and even water has been destroyed. The road in Nambulini in Wainembuka is still closed to public due to a heavy landslide that's blocked the breeze on the highway. People are also trying to get in touch with their families and friends in Suva, in the Eastern Division, and also in major parts of the Central Division, but communication lines are down, and also mobile lines. There's no mobile connection. There's no ways for the villagers to get in touch with their families and loved ones in other parts of Fiji. Reporting live from Wainembuka, I'm Akusita Tale for SBC News.
Extensive damage has been reported in the Western Division. Maggie Boyle has been around the West and files this report.
Good evening, Jackie. Okay, I'm standing here at the Nandi Bridge, where in a few hours from now it's likely to burst its riverbank. Now, earlier we had a briefing with Commissioner Weston Manasa Tangibakimba. He, of course, has told us that the initial assessments that have been done in Ba, in Papua, Nandi and the Turka have all reported with a lot of damage to homes. A number of homes are without roofs. There's also been a lot of damage to poles, power poles. A number of poles have actually been overturned and aligned with electric wires on the road. Now, key points for them is to ensure that lives, property and livestock are secure. Those are their priority areas at this point. Also with regards to amenities, ensuring that there is a water supply and that power is restored as soon as possible, as well as ensuring that the roads are accessible. Here in Nandi, which is where we are at the moment at the DO's office, we're just on the Nandi Bridge. We're watching the last of the Nandi residents pass over the bridge, which police and the teams here expect to close off. There's already been flooding at the Nandi market and at the Nandi bus station. That road, of course, has been closed off for access as well. There is a curfew that is in place, which is at 6 o'clock. However, they are being flexible with those people that need to get in to Nandi town, particularly those businesses as well that have remained closed today. Also, the international flights and domestic flights were all cancelled today. We expect those to resume tomorrow. The worry, of course, is that the Rakiraki, which of course had the TC Winston hit landfall yesterday, last night around 8 o'clock, a little after 8, they haven't been able to get any word from Rakiraki or from the police or from the teams that are there. There's no approach from either side on the Kings or Queens Highway. The commissioner is saying at this stage that they're looking at hiring a helicopter to be able to do an aerial of the situation in Rakiraki, and also to take in supplies. So that's something they're looking at to do tomorrow.
2 people are now in custody at the Lambasa police station for breaching the curfew. Divisional Police Commissioner Northern SSP Shiri Bawan Singh told a DISMAC briefing this morning that the 2 were warned 3 times last night for loitering in Lambasa town, but they kept on coming back. He says the threat is that they wanted to break into some shops which were closed down. Singh says they have dealt with the 2 and they are now kept in police custody to appear in court tomorrow. Several people have been taken to task by Lambasa police for breaching the curfew. Singh says there were a few minor offences in Lambasa town last night. The extent of damage caused by Tropical Cyclone Winston in the Northern Division is yet to be known. Commissioner Northern Chovesa Vodea says at the moment they are still collecting information from all the provinces, and this in itself is proving to be difficult as communication lines to most places are still down. Vodea says once the roads are cleared of debris and fallen trees, surveillance teams will be deployed to conduct initial damage assessments. However, he says from reports already received, there is extensive damage in Bua, Nambawalu, Savusavu and Taviuni. The surveillance teams will meet in Savusavu this afternoon to compile a report on the extent of damage.
We have also agreed in our meeting together with our Minister and our CEO for Tauke Affairs, who is also with us, that we will join the team. We are going to try and do our best to see the impact of Cyclone Winston on the ground. So team will be allocated routes for them to follow, so that we can have some general idea of what is the damage sustained. So we will meet in Sabu at 3 p.m. this afternoon, by which we will be able to get some ideas of the damage of the cyclone.
Communication remains difficult with much of Vanua Levu and the outer islands. Coming up after the break, more damage reports from Tropical Cyclone Winston.
Yandra, I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiraki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Navua town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Tropical Cyclone Winston, although less destructive in the southern and central division, still left nightmares for many residents in Navua. While Navua has had its fair share of natural disasters, people say last night was one of the scariest times of their lives. Ali Kimbia has more.
This house in Tokotoko, Navua was completely blown down by strong winds last night, minutes after occupants were evacuated to nearby relatives.
At the back of mine, my neighbor's house is already gone. He does not have anything left. The clothes he was wearing, in the morning he came to my place. I tried to help him out, give him some tarpaulin to cover his leftover belongings. I request the government of the day to help.
According to Hussein, 5 children and their parents were sheltering from the storm in this house. Having lived in Navua all his life, Hussein says he's never come across a cyclone as terrible as Winston.
For as long as my age, I have seen Kina, but nothing like this. This is actually not hit our side, but actually we can say this is the worst I have seen.
With Cyclone Winston being recorded as one of the worst in the southern hemisphere, residents count themselves lucky.
Hurricanes and strong winds that we experience in Navua, we haven't seen this kind of hurricane for a long time. Plus the flood this morning, we also got flood this morning, water coming inside our homes.
This is one of the worst I have ever seen. Strong winds and houses destroyed. I think it's a mega cyclone.
Meanwhile, FBC News visited the evacuation center at Vasist Muni College, where over 200 people are taking shelter tonight. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
A family in Tuirara, Nasino was lucky to escape unhurt after a tree fell on their corrugated iron house yesterday due to strong winds. The next problem for Ravindra Prasad is the cost of damage to his property due to the effects of Cyclone Winston. Chalendal Vakadaka has more.
The Prasad family was at home watching television at about 7 p.m. yesterday when this tree crashed through the roof, bringing rain and strong winds into the 3-bedroom house.
We were inside the house, then the tree fell and we couldn't do anything. We wanted to cut the tree earlier, but it wasn't allowed.
Family and friends turned up today to help with the cleanup. The Prasad family is now trying to figure out how they will pay for the damages estimated to be about $15,000.
There was also a baby in the house when the incident happened. We have hardly anything left now and no place to go.
Not far from the Prasad residence, the Tuirara Methodist Church and its nearby hall also fell victim to Cyclone Winston's wrath. Strong winds blew away the roof of the hall, and some of the concrete blocks used to keep the roof in place crashed into the church roof. As church services nationwide were suspended, these youth came out to assist in repairing the damage.
You can see we are repairing the damage caused by the cyclone last night, Cyclone Winston. About 8:30 p.m. last night, due to the strong wind, our community hall roof was blown up and caused the damage to the roof of our church.
Now that Winston slowly moves away from the Fiji group, members of the public can only pick up the pieces left behind by the Category 5 cyclone. Talento Takataka, FBC News.
Close to 160 people had to take shelter at the Suvasangam Hall in Samambula yesterday as Tropical Cyclone Winston forced them to leave their homes. Rohit Deo caught up with families at the centre earlier today.
Already gone.
Families from Navua in Nasinu and Jitu stayed in Rewai had to flee their homes last night as winds picked up in the Central Division.
We stayed for the shelter at the Sangam Hall. Sangam is very grateful for the people to stay here. They gave some ration.
There were close to 160 people at the centre last night. Many of them left at daylight to check on their homes.
Some went home because of no food. They can't starve up here. But later we come to know that we can't vacate the centre as curfew has been laid.
Many feared for their lives as Tropical Cyclone Winston passed through last night, and families decided it was safer to move to an evacuation centre before it was too late.
Because we are poor, we are staying in the squatter, the house is uncomfortable to face the drastic situation what we are having now.
Most of these families will spend another day or two at this evacuation centre, waiting assessing if there has been severe damage to their homes. Rohit Deo, FBC News.
Stay with us. More information on Tropical Cyclone Winston's aftermath after the break.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान करबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल ए ग्रेट है करबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है करबो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैनी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
Welcome back. This is FBC News. All schools will go on 1 week break from tomorrow. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says this will allow parents and students to prepare for school after severe tropical cyclone Winston damaged many schools and homes. Ritika Pratap reports.
Hundreds of schools around Fiji are being used as evacuation centres, while others have sustained damage from tropical cyclone Winston. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says there is a need to consolidate before going back to classes.
Allow the management to do the cleanup and prepare the school. We'll also ensure that we don't lose any teaching time. So the term 1 break that was supposed to be for 2 weeks, it will now be for 1 week because we're pulling 1 week next week from tomorrow.
Dr. Mahendra Reddy says initial reports confirm some schools have been completely wiped out.
Pretty bad news in some areas, particularly in the Lomaiviti group, as well as Rakiraki 2, and Lambasa, Bua area. Quite a few schools, quarters has been blown off. So situation seems not very good for the schools in Fiji.
The ministry says their immediate focus is to provide relief to those families who are taking shelter in schools so that classes can resume from next Monday.
3 stages to any natural disaster. One is the immediate relief, and then the cleaning up so that the business can take place, normal business. And the third one is reconstruction.
The Fiji National University will also be closed for the next 2 days. An advisory will be circulated on Tuesday on resumption of the university operations. University of the South Pacific Vice-Chancellor Professor Rajesh Chandra has also confirmed the university will be closed tomorrow. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The effects of tropical cyclone Winston did not spare the maternity ward at the CWM hospital in Suva. Roof leaks forced rooms to be cleared as some mothers were relocated to temporary rooms. Assistant Minister for Health Veena Bhatnagar visited the hospital today and was impressed with how the staff handled the situation overnight. Meanwhile, the nurses were all smiles amidst the heavy rain and winds last night as one mother gave birth to a healthy baby at the hospital last night. An extensive loss in communication means the Fiji Roads Authority is only able to get sketchy information about road closures. Lautoka, Ba, Navua and Rakiraki have limited communication. FRA contractors are concentrating on opening up the Kings Road. The Lambasa to Savu highway is open to all traffic. However, the Savu jetty is closed due to damage. Queens Road from Bau to Lomawai is open. However, people are advised to drive with caution. The Kings Road from Nambulini to Yangara is closed. FRA's contractors are clearing all main roads. The Nandi Weather Office has issued a flash flood warning with heavy rain forecast for the Fiji group tonight. The warning is in place for Tailevu North, Upper Rewa River, the Singatoka River, the Navua River to Navua Town, Bar Bridge Station downstream the Bar River, the Nandi River to Nandi Town, the Rewa River, the Waimbina River, the Lambasa River and Rakiraki Town. Temperatures were in the 30s today. Tomorrow's forecast is for more rain and thunderstorms over the Fiji group. And the further outlook is for strong winds with average speeds of 50 kilometers per hour and momentary gusts of 75 kilometers per hour. Winds easing and becoming moderate to fresh from the afternoon. Occasional rain, heavy at times, and squally thunderstorms. Our main stories for tonight. 5 people have been confirmed dead due to tropical cyclone Winston. Extensive damage reports are coming in from the west and the north. And communication lines down for many parts of Fiji. That was news tonight, but as we wrap up, here are pictures captured by our team that has emerged from the last 2 days. Jackie Spate, good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Navua, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Sala, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Sulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Rakiraki.
I'm Mary from Nandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.